South Carolina has made national headlines for many things over the years. One of those is serial killer Donald Pee Wee Gaskins, who died in the electric chair in 1991. Recently, our digital producer Ann McQuarrie talked to one of the wardens who knew him and Pee Wee's life behind bars.
Yeah, the ones that you might think stick out, like Pee Wee Gaskins. I interviewed him a number of times.
What was he like?
I'll tell you what he was like. And he was like you and me sitting here right now having a pleasant conversation. He was a total sociopath. He was fairly intelligent, very outgoing. I would never turn my back on him. And when I say he was a total sociopath, I mean that. He had actually no empathy. He cared for no one but himself. Nothing ever bothered him. We know that he murdered at least 11 people. I think it's probably been more than that. A very interesting situation was that in Florence County, he was allowed to plead guilty to those. And the normal reason for that is saying that it gives the families of the victims some closure. But he got 11 life sentences or something. And the only reason he ever got the death penalty was because he killed a person in prison. We had a young black fellow there. His name was Tyner. I can't remember his first name. He had killed the owner of a convenience store, gas station, or something like that in Myrtle Beach, in that area. And he was apprehended, and he was given the death penalty. He was on death row in cell block 2. So he's up here, and Pee Wee, that was where he lived. His cell block 2 was a maximum security cell block at CCI, and it housed some state hospital patients, because earlier in the 50s, a law was passed that the state hospital could send anybody there that needed security that we had to the prison for safekeeping. Anyway, Pee Wee had told this young fella, he said, I made a device that we can talk to each other on. It's like an intercom. And he said, all you need to do is plug it in to the socket in your cell, and then just hold it up to your ear, and we'll be able to talk. I'll never forget the call that I got from the warden that evening that there had been an explosion in cell block 2, and the Tyner had killed himself. We didn't know. We assumed it might have been a plan to escape, and it misfired on him. Had no idea other than that, because everyone else was locked up at that time. So we proceed on that assumption, and we had the body, took him to the state morgue at the state hospital, went through the autopsy, and the forensic pathologist there gave us what he took out of his brain. And it was a piece of magnet. And then we realized in the old radios, there used to be a big piece of magnet in there, in the back. And Pee Wee had taken that out of a radio, put it in some kind of, covered it up with something, wired up electricity. This is where I say he was a pretty smart fellow. And as soon as Tyner plugged that into the outlet, it went off right through his brain. We didn't know at that time still, we thought this fellow had done that himself. But I got hold of our investigation division. I said, fellas, I want you to go down. I want you to shake Pee Wee Gaskins down. I want you to go through every single thing in his cell. They did that, took about half a day to do it, and they found cassette tapes that he had recorded with Tyner's victim's father, not son, excuse me, the victim's son. In those days, we had to pay telephones for inmate use. And when Pee Wee would get approval, tried to contract with Pee Wee to kill him. He didn't want to wait for the death penalty to come around. And that's how that happened. He smuggled in C4. Pee Wee told him exactly what he needed to have. He said, get some C4, take the heel off of the shoe, put it in the shoe, put the heel back on, and mail it to me. And he got through. And he got it. And you know the rest of the story. But that is how Pee Wee got the death sentence. After all the other people he killed. Well, he's the most notorious case, of course. Yes, we had others, but he would be the most. He would be the most. I have a picture after his execution when he was in the hearse. He was coming through the front gate at the Broad River Complex on the way to Newberry for an autopsy. And I thought to myself, you know, when he was on the street killing all these people, he would drive an old hearse. That was his method of transportation.
If you'd like more information on Pee Wee Gaskins, just look for this story on our website tonight. That's WLTX.com.